Tony Bradshaw with AddSomeToYourIncome.com here to answer your question. How do I get more tips as a waitress? I would like to share with you the experience of tipping a waitress last night when I went out to a restaurant. I will share an experience with you of a waitress who made $50,000 as a tip. We'll go into how that happened. And then I will share with you how it is to not tip, where I was in that place, and ask you to find in your heart the forgiveness for it. Someone who doesn't tip. I might just start there actually. So in my money story, we had a time where we weren't eating out. And we finally did go out to eat, and we went to IHOP on National Pancake Day. This was a day when it's $0 to get a stack of pancakes. So we showed up. We put $0 as the tip. It felt really weird. I made sure my kids wrote thank you notes, and that was it. So if you were the waitress who served us, and we were that struggling family with 4 little kids and plenty of mess left after, and you got just little written notes, please accept that from the bottom of our hearts. That wasn't the only time that we left very little tip, if any, when we were at that struggling point. We had gotten from the summer reading program little coupons to go eat out at Sizzlers. We ate out at Sizzlers. We made the biggest mess possible on accident when one of my children, carrying their bowl full of ice cream and fudge and candy and sprinkles and probably a cookie or a brownie, tripped, and brownie, sprinkles, chocolate, ice cream everywhere on the floor for about 10 feet. And you guys had to clean up after us. My wife didn't want to tip at all because things were so tight, but we did leave a little bit. I think it was $2. Anyway, please please try not to judge those who don't really tip. And we made those decisions, and I know other people are too. I hope I'm reaching them with my message of add to your income so you can find yourself comfortable at tipping like I was last night. So why did we tip our waitress well last night? What did she do that made it so that she would get more money than just the 15%? Why was it that we opened up our hands? Number one, we were in a position to do that. It feels very different now when it comes to the money and the ability to open up and release that flow. So we're in a different place, okay? And we get there, and some people are there, and those people will still kind of make sure that you're going to be a person that they want to tip well. Our waitress read us really well. When we came in, we happened to go eat at the Mongolian barbecue, and this is where we've not eaten there in a long time, and we hadn't been to that one ever. And when we came in, she was like, "So you guys been here before?" "No, you haven't." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, this is our first time here." She's like, "Okay, let me tell you how this works." And she told us the process of we go and we fill up whatever size bowl we want, and then take it to get cooked. And her job is, drinks and rice, basically. So she made her job clear, and she made our job clear, and how it works. Buffet style. Here you go. Off we went. So that worked really well. The cooks right there, and again, a Mongolian barbecue. They put the food onto that big slat of metal thing, and then they're scooping it along. I don't know these exact terms. Probably a wok. Probably, I'm just guessing. And then they walk around the wok, right? Anyway, so they cook our food, and we watch them cook, and every time I've been to a Mongolian barbecue, they do a great job of just scooping it into the bowl when it's done, and there's your food all cooked and ready to go. So we left a tip for the chef, right? They did a nice clean job and cooked our food. And their tip jar, little tip for you, had money in it already, so we didn't have to be the first people to put money in, and that really helps when it comes to tips. Seed your tip jar. We sit down, and the waitress again has gotten our waters. They're right there ready to go. Extra napkins and the straws. She just double checks we want rice. Do we want soy sauce with it? And she brings it. She asks if we want refills at our water as soon as it's getting close to the bottom. She gets that done. And here was the thing. Here was the thing where she really made it personal for us. I like to ask, what's it like to work here? I like to kind of, or something similar to that. How's it going for you here? I want to know more about the waitress than just the standard stuff. Like, how's it really going? Like, how do you like working here? It was what I asked the waitress. And she said, oh yeah, it's a great place. Actually, I'm surprised I'm still here. So that kind of tells me something. That tells me something about the environment. Anything she says after that, I already know. This, for her, is a nice place to work. And that she's got a little story she's about to tell us. And I like stories. And so she pauses and she says, yeah, actually, so I worked here quite a few years ago. We moved, and then I moved back recently, about 2 years ago. And I was looking for other work. And my mom works here. And she said, why don't you, do some waitressing while you're looking for other work? And then she kind of chuckles and she says, and I'm still here. So she was just very personable. She just shared that, and she's probably shared it a whole bunch of times. That's kind of her standard go-to story for this. This is what I'm doing. And yet it connected well. So when it came time to do the tip, it was a nice tip for this waitress. However, it was not as nice as $50,000. This story is true, and I hope this story inspires you as a waitress to treat everyone with kindness. This has helped inspire me to treat my students with kindness. And let me tell you what happened. A waitress decided to make this public and called a radio station that I listened to and said, this is what happened to me. I have been so richly blessed, literally, because I just got $50,000. And here's how it happened. Every day, this guy would come in, and he was a grumpy old guy. And he would always end up in my section. And I had to go serve this grumpy guy. And for a while, I was grumpy about serving the grumpy guy. And then at one point, I kind of realized, okay, he is a Vietnam vet. I'm going to show him kindness. Just for that alone, he's a veteran. I'm going to be kind to this person. And I'm going to serve him the way I want to be served. And I'm going to be with a smile and kindness. And she did this. Day after day, he would come and be in her section. And she would serve him. And she put on the smile. And she put on the warmth. And he was still kind of grumpy. And it got a little bit better. And she just continued to be nice. One day, he didn't come in. She wondered what had happened. 2 days, he doesn't come in. On the third day, in the newspaper, she noticed his obituary. And she actually kind of missed the guy. She felt it. A person in her life that had been there every day passed away. not much longer, she got a very formal envelope in the mail telling her that she was receiving an inheritance of $50,000 from this gentleman, with a note saying she had served him with a smile. And he left her a car. I will say this, as you serve, there are a wide range of people. There are grumpy people, there are happy people, people are celebrating. Sometimes people forget about you and don't talk about you because they're busy with their own lives. You are and can be a kind person who makes a big difference. I also have a quote that came to me today. I'll just share this with you. The quote is, "Dreams are free, but the hustle is sold separately." May you find the inspiration to do your side hustle, or to hustle well at what you're doing, to become to become a person, either a waitress or a waiter, who is so expert at what you're doing you can get hired by the high paying restaurants and add some to your income. I look forward to seeing you on the other side.